The police stood
Madam,
still when they
what
entered the
happened here?
room. No one spoke. Not even the fan made a sound. One of them looked at me, then looked back at what was in front of him. Madam, what happened here? I didn't answer, because if I opened my mouth too fast, the truth would spill out like fire, and some truths burn everyone. Pause 3 seconds. They used to call him husband of the year, even my church celebrated him. Women prayed, God, give me a man like Whale. I also believed I was the luckiest woman alive. 5 years of marriage, 3 pregnancies, 3 losses, and a husband who cried louder than me each time, until the day I installed a small camera in my kitchen. I wasn't looking for my husband, I was looking for missing meat in my soup, but what I saw destroyed everything. If you think you know what happened, you don't, because this story did not begin with betrayal, it began with love, or what looked like love. And by the time you hear what he said while smiling at that pot of soup, you will understand why the police were shocked. Stay with me, let me tell you what happened that day.
If you love powerful African stories like this, subscribe to this channel for more shocking stories every week.
My name is Grace. I am 28 years old, but sometimes I feel like I am 8, because when you grow up in a house where love is scarce, your heart stays hungry. My father had 3 wives. My mother alone had 7 children, 7, if we stood in one line. We could start a small army, food was shared, clothes were shared, even attention was shared. But love was not enough to go round. I used to watch my father laugh with the youngest wife. I used to see my mother wipe her tears quietly at night. I learned something early in life: if love comes, hold it tight, even if your fingers bleed. When I married Whale, people said I was lucky. It was an arranged marriage, but from the first month, Whale treated me like gold. Grace, he would say, touching my cheek gently, after God, it is you. He bought me gifts, he called me during the day, he prayed loudly in church, he never raised his voice at me in public. Women would hold my hands and whisper, may God give me a husband like Whale. Even my mother would smile proudly, see? I told you. God has wiped your tears. And slowly, I believed it. But there was one thing missing, a child. Year 1 passed, year 2 passed, then came the first pregnancy. I was so happy. I started talking to my stomach, baby, I will love you more than anybody loved me. But 3 months later, blood, hospital, silence. Whale held my hand and cried, it's okay, Grace. God knows best. The second pregnancy came, then left. The third one left too. Each time, Whale would hold me. Each time, he would pray loudly. Each time, the church would say, God is testing you. I started to feel like maybe I was broken. Maybe something inside me was wrong. Maybe I did not deserve to be a mother. That is how guilt begins, softly, like a whisper. My mother came one afternoon. She looked at the dirty plates, the untouched washing machines, the cold kitchen. You two are always working, she said. This house has no life. 2 weeks later, she brought Esther from the village. Esther was young, maybe 19, she had bright eyes, and she sang while sweeping. From the day Esther entered the house, things changed. Food was warm, clothes were folded, the house smelled like peace. But Whale did not like her. Send her back, he would say, she is not clean. She is strange. One day you will see. I laughed, Whale, she is just a girl. But sometimes, when he looked at her, it was not anger I saw, it was fear, and I did not understand why. Then small things started missing, meat from the soup, a little money, a small earring. I suspected Esther. Who else could it be? One afternoon at my shop, I saw an advert, CCTV camera that looks like a bulb, you can watch everything. I bought 2. One in the kitchen, one in the bedroom. I did not tell Whale. I just wanted to know the truth. Sometimes, truth is a door you cannot close again. The first day was boring, Esther cleaning, Esther singing, nothing. I almost deleted everything. Then, the next day, I saw him, Whale, at home. In the afternoon, he called, Esther? No answer. He walked to the kitchen, opened the pot of soup my mother prepared, the special one, for fruitfulness. He smiled, slowly. He brought out a small vial, white powder. He poured it in, stirred, and laughed. So you want a child to inherit my property? He laughed again. Not in this world. Not in the next. My mouth opened before my brain could stop it. Jesus. My supervisor ran in, Madam. Are you okay? I said I was fine, but I was not fine. Everything I believed broke in that moment. I drove home, my hands were shaking, my mind was screaming, Whale, my whale, the husband of the year, the prayer warrior, the gentleman, he was the reason my babies died, the miscarriages, the blood, the hospital beds, the tears, all him. And I had blamed myself. Some betrayals are too heavy to cry about, they turn your tears into stone. When I reached home, Esther greeted me. I did not answer. Whale came shortly after. I hid, not because I was afraid, but because I needed to think. I drove away, then stopped at a junction. I cannot tell anyone, nobody will believe me. They will say, Whale? Impossible. So I turned back. My mind was clear now, very clear, too clear. That night, I served the soup. My hands were steady. Whale smiled at me, my beautiful wife. I smiled back, eat, my love. He hesitated, did you add salt? Yes, I said softly. He looked at me, something passed between us, like two people standing at the edge of a cliff. Then he ate, pause, minutes passed, he began to sweat, Grace. His voice was weak. I looked at him, the same way he looked at the soup, and I said nothing. The police officer shifted uncomfortably, Madam. Why? I finally spoke. Sometimes, I said quietly, the trap a man digs for another becomes his own bed. They looked at me, they did not understand fully, but somewhere, they knew this was not a simple story. The church stopped calling him husband of the year. People stopped praying, give me a husband like Whale. My mother wept, Esther left quietly, and me, I learned something. Love is not loud prayer, love is not public display, love is not sweet words, love does not poison your womb, and sometimes, justice comes in silence.